And good afternoon, good morning, whatever it'll be. You'll find the very unfriendly skies of Tironan, and today we are looking at the KI 162-1. What can we say about this aircraft? Well, you may notice this bears a startling resemblance to the Henkel 162. And the reason is that a submarine was sent a pair of submarines actually were sent to Japan from Germany with the plans for and examples of axial turbojets and the MA-262 and the Heinkel 162. One of the submarines was sunk on the way over, and the other made it. And supposedly the plans for the 162 were in the hands of the Japanese Air Ministries. However, the plans have never been found. Nobody's ever got the paper in their hands to say, yeah, this has actually existed and we were working on it or anything of the sort. So when it comes to talking about the aircraft, the only thing you are left here is to talk about the Henkel 162, which actually was built, did fly, and nothing was really wrong with the aircraft that time would not have solved, but time was not on Germany's side at this point. The aircraft was designated and started production in September and was actually flying in January of 1945. And those of you that follow World War II history knows that that Germany surrendered, May 5th, 1945. So it gives you an idea. Those aircraft were also flying around, being worked on, and actually being produced, fighting and dying in German service. What's known about the aircraft? Well, the Germans, pilots and several aces flew this thing to test it out. Said that it was one of the most effective and lightest controls that they'd ever flown. That it was a superb fighter. That being said, it had severe issues because it was rushed into production. Just like when we talk about the 162, everybody loves to talk about what the 162 is, and I guarantee you that unless somebody put a gun to my head, I would not fly a 162 or 262. This has similar problems, and one of them is here. They had too much dihedral, and that's the inverted V shape when they talk about dihedral, of 14 degrees, and that was too much, and produced flutter. And this thing was built out of wood, and they were using the wrong glue for it because the glue factory that they wanted to use had been destroyed by B-17s. It was late war. B-17s, B-24s, Lincolns were going anywhere they wanted to go. They were being escorted by fighters. The British night bombing campaign was in full bloom, and things were about as ugly as they could get. So why build this thing? Well, for one thing, it's the engine here. This is the BMW 003, which was not in demand because the one used in the Messerschmitt 262 was the BMW 004. Also in the Arado 234, is that right? In spite of being used as a bomber and very rarely used as a bomber, the Arado product was primarily a reconnaissance aircraft since nothing in the Allied inventory could catch it. So whether this was ever actually going to be built by the Japanese or not is an open question. Whether they even had the plans or not has never been proven. Take it for what it is. As this translates to the plane in game. Because that's all that really matters to us at this point, right? Because historically, where do you go? All right. So we have this aircraft. Why don't we have a Kaiko or Kika? Was that what it was called? It was the 262 version for Japan. It was actually being built. But we don't have that. This aircraft is pathetically slow. 286. And when you finally upgrade it, it'll get a little faster. Right now I've got this at about mid-level. Still have to get the final 2 modules here. It's slow. It's underarmed. And it turns like a demon, 9.4. You won't see that kind of number out of anything short of a Sabre jet at Tier 9, or Tier 10 I should say. So it is one heck of a turn and burn. But, oh, how you're going to pay for the lack of speed. All right. You are not going to be catching anything in this. The other problem is it has 2 30mm guns. You can see them here. They're not, they don't have much range. They're going to be archy. All the stuff that you notice in the, in one of my primary complaints is the same problems you have in the J7W1. It's archy, they fire slow, and in the 262. The altitude is okay. It fits right up there with the attacker and a bunch of the multi-rolls. It's not crippling. The speed, I suspect, is going to be a major problem. The lack of firepower is going to be a major problem. Okay, because you are not getting anything more than 400 DPS out of this, and even with the upgrade, you're going to be looking at 480. What you find in the standard Tier 8 20mm armed aircraft. That's difficult. Okay. You're going to get some relief here. You'll get another 100 feet of range, and here you'll get another boost in speed. Take a look at what we got here. I doubt that I have done anything with these, and I have not. Alright, let's take it to battle and just see what it does rather than me. I'm a little bit disappointed in the Japanese fighter line, to be honest with you. And that's because I don't see a lot of difference between the J7W1 and the KI-162 line. Not enough to make me go, oh yeah, I gotta go get this. The German lines, the American lines, the Soviet lines all seem to have more versatility. And I think that the Japanese lines need more love. That being said, maybe I'm wrong. Let's just go take it for what it is. We'll see what we can do here. All right, let's turn this puppy loose and see what we can do.
Get ready for action. Let's go.
I'm not even touching my flaps yet. But the overheating problem is one that you will notice. Alright, not unexpected. Alright, I'm running right around 7,300 feet, which is not bad. It's not bad at all. You'll notice the speed is not, however, all that great. Okay, if you're overrunning something with this thing, it's nothing short of amazing. Again, is when you hit with this thing, it just, you see those massive flashes. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, let's see what else is around us. Well, in the middle of a furball, this is not a bad aircraft to have. But I would not want to. Now that XF5, you hasn't got all that great altitude capability either. I know because I have one. Love the aircraft. I mean, you talk about the guns that you absolutely love to shoot. That's very close to it. Let's see if we can get the firepower. DPS on this is not going to make you happy. That much I'm going to promise you. I'm going to assume here that I am badly outnumbered. I'm sure that Seafang would wish he'd not gotten within my reach. And I have high hopes that eventually I'll get my engine back. There we go. And Channing rammed me. Actually, if I had been in his shoes, I would have done too. Let's see, I can get myself. We don't own that base yet. I thought we did. Alright. Just the sort of aircraft you never would probably want to handle with this thing, but that's what we got. Alright, well, let's get down here and deal with the guy. Now, I ain't very fast, but we can take a 90 to his course. Minimize the time. Get my gear up here. And miss. Great. I'm impressed. Not with my marksmanship, though. Okay, better that time. There are just too many aircraft up here for my liking. And the guy is outrunning me in a 410. Am I impressed or what? Alright, we have some boost back. And we'll wait for my hopefully someday, maybe.
Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy?
Yeah, I got you there, bro. Thanks. Nothing like being outnumbered and trying to survive. Or at least we're not doing a real good job of. We took a chunk out of them with that one, didn't we?
Cannot support you any longer. The storm is too heavy. Do you copy? Over.
The arciness of the guns are just something you're going to have to get used to. By the way, if you fly an LA 160, it's not going to be any better. I'm just not a big fan of low velocity guns on jets. There's too many things up here that have very long reach on their weapons, and I don't.
Way to go. Victory is close.
Now, mind you, that is a propeller slash, well, I don't know. The 260 is an interesting aircraft. It's actually a compression jet. Interesting. Now this is primarily, and something to be aware of, is I believe most of our opponents are tier 8 here, and this is flying a tier 9, so it is showing up considerably better than perhaps it should. And I doubt we'd be nearly as happy in an all tier 9 game.
Great job today. We'll be waiting for you back home.
Alright. Aircraft made a complete liar of me, and I don't mind being wrong in this case. However, I am going to remind you that this was a primarily tier 8 aircraft. We destroyed 9 targets, assisted with 5. Like that. Came in a comfortable number 1. Here's the problem. As slow as this thing is, and you notice that tier 8 aircraft were out running me. At tier 9, that gets to be a lot more serious, and when you start looking at the ranges of something a little more competent, like this aircraft, and you're talking 26, 24, I think you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble. Okay. And it's just too easy for aircraft like that with 26, 27, 2800 foot ranges to pick you up before you ever have a chance to realize they're there. And I'll show you what I mean. Alright, so range on this gun are 2850 because of the upgrades. We got it there. And you see where I'm getting to here. Alright. No, this aircraft will never match the acrobatics that the Japanese aircraft will pull. Can't. Won't come close. I just doubt that it'll make any difference unless it happens to become rolling by at low altitude and low speed. Maybe I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong. But that's the problem I see with this aircraft. See about upgrade and see where we're at with it. So I got about 7,000 here and 12,000 there. Okay. Now this is going to help a lot, and this will help a lot. So we'll do another review as I get the next two modules. I let you know, obviously this turned out very well. I had a lot of fun with this particular fight. But I'm also very aware of the problems that you can get with the air freight. It's not fast enough. Simple as that. It is not fast enough. And it does not carry enough armament. And it doesn't have enough range on the armament to be nearly as effective as it could be. Whether that remains a problem, I don't know. You only have one or more upgrade to this aircraft line, and then you're done. So we got something to look forward to. I want to thank you for spending some time with me today. I again want to ask you to subscribe and to like the video. You have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.